So look, I was sitting here and I was thinking to myself, um, man, I am just tired of all these bullshitters acting as if like the labor market is strong when there is literally no evidence of that, like at all. I mean, the people who say that are either morons or they're just lying. To me, this whole thing is just it's an access to information issue, and that's it. It's nothing more. Mainstream media, they love to oftentimes run with, oh, hey, we added 230 jobs this month, and that's about as far as, the analysis goes. Well, if you're anything like me, and you know me, uh, and what I kind of focus on, I mean, details matter. I haven't had an experience in life when it didn't matter. I mean, that's got to be true for pretty much everybody to a certain extent. Uh, don't you think that it might matter, like, I don't know, like where those jobs are being added? Uh, Non-farm payrolls, and that's the one that gets all the attention when they talk about it's obviously a month over month and seasonally adjusted number. Uh, there's a lot that rolls up into that number. So when you look under the hood for like 2 seconds, you're going to see that all those jobs are basically being added in government and private and education and health services. If you were to just look at private jobs, so basically non farm minus government, private job growth year over year, I mean, it's basically at zero. It's very close to that. Anytime it's been there historically, you're either at the doorstep or you're in a recession. And look, I myself personally, I look at the household survey at scale as well. I just pull the whole thing for both of them monthly, and when you go through that, it just it looks like dog shit under the hood for both of them. So look, if somebody says the unemployment rate is low, okay, and that's an indication to them that the labor market is strong, simply ask them what that means. Or if some person is going to show 2 or 3 months worth of data and they're going to extrapolate a new trend, then tell them to zoom the damn chart out. I mean, these are common sense things that I don't know if people are just afraid to ask, but it's just dumb. You need to look at this shit over a very long period of time, and when you do that, it just doesn't look great. And I know people, when I say that, it's like, oh, you're a doomer. No, 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 no. You sound like my fucking grandpa. Get out of here with that garbage bullshit. It's a chart. Are you mad at me or are you mad at the chart? And I know people, they want to know what this information looks like at, a local level where they live, right? It's available. I look at that too. Both measures of it. They get cut a little bit differently, but when you look at it at a local level, it's those same trends. So I know people are like, oh, we can't trust these monthly estimates. Da, da, da. That's just not true. I mean, there is a degree of like, there's a confidence interval. It's probably gotten outside of those bands a little bit this cycle, but it's directionally accurate. And when you pull the non-sampled version of that information, it looks the same. In fact, it looks worse. It's part of the reason why you're seeing uh, layoffs where they are, the unemployment rate starting to move meaningfully higher. I mean, look, the reason I do this is I'm just tired of all the bullshitters. More than anything, I am tired of just people lying for their own self-interest. That recruiter is probably wasting your time. I mean, there are so many low lives in that business They're not all bad, but oftentimes there's a lot of bad ones in that business. So look, if somebody wants to argue with me or tell me I'm wrong, I don't really care. Let's look at a chart over a long fucking period of time and we'll let the chart decide. So I just want people to know that what you're feeling is more than a feeling. The labor market is weak. The unemployment rate is going to go meaningfully higher. In fact, recessions usually start when the unemployment rate is low. So, anyways, fuck all those bullshitters, man. I just too many grifters these days. Especially this really really just young people now more than ever are really on the receiving end of all this bullshit. And that's just really doing them a huge disservice. So, look, again, reach out to me if you'd like me to maybe if you're curious of whether or not there's maybe like a metric that might be capturing what you're feeling in particular. Chances are there's probably something around it. It may not be exactly what you're looking for, but probably pretty close. You'd be surprised at how many iterations exist of this information. Uh, but I just want people to know because this is about being able. You're only seeing like just the high level surface of what's actually under the hood. There is so much data that you guys must not be aware that exists, and there's a boatload of it, and it's all recessionary. We're talking about the real economy. We're not talking about equities. This is not a discussion around AI. We're talking about people's jobs, livelihoods, and that's it. Okay. All right, guys. Hope everybody had a good holiday.